Eric Mwathe, August 28th, 2014. Market's been trading for about 1 hour. We are down slightly on the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P 500. S&P 500 is down back below 2000. The VIX is up 5%. So let's take a look at the dailies here. I have some ideas on the short side, and this is probably going to be my first short side idea in a while. So let's hope that there's some direction that we can play here. Otherwise, I don't want to be too aggressive on the short side just because the market is having one down day. So we have to be careful here to assume that the only path for the market is lower. The market could easily rebound. But let's take a look at the daily. We have to act on what we see. On the daily, the Nasdaq is showing a break. Previously here was being tested there, and the reason why I'm going to interpret that as being a resistance zone is because the following charts do confirm that analysis. If we take a look at the Dow daily, we talked about the double lines merging at this point here, and also this top side merging there. We were speculating that could be resistance, and it could eventually just turn out to be exactly that. There's also price resistance there. That's the Dow. Take a look at the Dow transports, which was one idea, one cue that the market was going to find resistance around the current levels. The top lines of the RSI were coinciding right there, and a previous resistance line there also, and I believe back test of this previous break here. So lots of things were pointing to resistance there. We seem to be getting that on the daily for the transports. We take one more look at the S&P 500, and also you can see here as of right now we have what looks like lower lows on the daily RSI, resistance coming at the previous uniformity break line there, and this could be a problem with a higher high there, and technicals confirming lower. Also resistance coming on the RSI around 61.8. I say around, not at 61.8, so that could be a problem. Let's take a look at Russell 2000 daily. As of right now, this line has been on my chart for many months, and you can see there resistance being confirmed here. That's one way to take a look at that resistance level. Another way to take a look at the resistance level is find the break point here, which corresponds with this RSI break and a price break there, which are the highs. Draw a straight line from there. You can see again confirmation of resistance there. This is something we have to act on and see how things play out. In other words, just make a bet on it that it's probably going to suggest lower prices and see what happens. So here are some following ideas that I have been researching for a while. We begin by taking a look at VISI, and it's up for the week 4%. But my analysis is based on the monthly, and the monthly has already seen a move on the monthly RSI to 3-year lows, which is not good, and the 3-year lows line was once it broke below 42. So we can say that as long as it's holding below 42, which was this level here, it's actually 42. As long as it's holding below this, the stock should see lower prices, probably in the 20s. That would be my thinking, maybe even mid-20s short-term target. But this here is bearish. If we take a look at the MACDs, we see that at least one of them is at 3-year lows, all-time lows, and also moving below zero for the first time. So I would say, to me, the stock is a short right here. In fact, if you take a look at the daily, you'll see that even though it's up for the day, you'll see that the previous break point somewhere around here to a straight line, it's been finding resistance ever since this break, most recent break here. It's been stalling at this level every time. So I believe right now, even at current price with the positive move for the day, the stock could eventually over the next couple of days find resistance there. So at $40, I would short it. Price target mid 20s, just because that monthly RSI does not work. You want to get out of the stock if it moves back above 42.12, which is this level here. So that would be a stop, 42.12. Let's take a look at another one here. It's MX, and the stock is, as you can see, making lower lows when the market is at all-time highs. There on the weekly, the previous weekly closing low there. If we take a look at them, and the stock has really come off its highs. The highs were here in the 20s, 23. Now it's down 50%. Take a look at the monthly. The reason why I would like to short this is because you can see that there's a fresh monthly break here, which is at a price of 12.41. So as long as the stock is below 12.41, I believe it's a short, because the monthly RSI is very close to 3-year lows. So this could move to 3-year lows very easily, and the MACDs are already showing potential, because both MACDs, one has already moved below zero, the other one is looking to go below zero and making a 3-year all-time low, and also bearish crossover below zero here could be detrimental to this stock's short-term direction. So as long as the stock is holding below 12.41, this is a short in my opinion. Let's take a look at another idea. WFM, Whole Foods. So the stock is up over the last couple of weeks, which is okay. My thinking here is based on the monthly. If you take a look at the monthly, in fact, if I go back, let's go back about 5 years so we can get the exact sell signal on Whole Foods, and it is when it moved to 3-year lows. So let's find the 3-year lows somewhere here. It moved to 3-year lows. So let's see. So that's 1 year there, 1, 2, about 3-year lows. So the 3-year lows took place here. And that's why I want us to use the 3-year lows, which is this break point at about 52. And so now I think it remains a short. In fact, why I say that is because if it moves below the current monthly, so set an alert. You can set an alert here if it moves below this monthly closing low of 38.12 as a trigger point. Then you want to short it again, because it's going to be pushing below to another 3-year low here, and also it's going to be moving below 38.2 on its monthly RSI. Okay, so I would set an alert for this one. I took a look at this one on the daily, and I think there's reason to even short it right here. Why? Because if you take the break somewhere here, draw a straight line, which is the break of the off the highs in the 60s, 62, 63. Every time we've come back to this level, we've found ideal short situations every single time. And so, and I believe here you can go short at about 38.81, with your next trigger point being a move below that monthly price of 38.12. Let's take a look at another idea here, LVS, which is breaking below this weekly closing low. Price range there being at 68. So you want to use this as a trigger point. Right now it's below that level. It's breaking down as of right now. And a stop if it moves back above that. So we can test the weakness in the market if this stock stays below 68.13. I would say this one could come to test this previous breakpoint of about 57.5. Somewhere around here, it would be my initial price target, maybe even lower. If you take a look at the monthly, it's not yet primed to really go down, because this would be where the 3-year lows would be. So it's not primed as the previous picks, because the previous picks show that they're moving or are already at three-year lows. Take a look at another one in the same space, which is gaming. And here I wanted to use this monthly closing low there in April, price of 201.34. If it can stay below that, I think it's a short. Price target, quite frankly, would be, I would say here, somewhere here at the previous highs, around 140. We're talking about 3 months, 6 months, 9 months out. I would say 6 months out. So as long as it's holding below 201.34, it's a short in that gaming sector space. They are not necessarily primed to move very first because they're not making 3-year lows. So that's a disclaimer. You always want things making 3-year lows if you want momentum. I noticed that if you take a look at the weekly for this stock, let's take a look at the weekly. You'll see that it's been holding this level here, holding, and now looks like it wants to break. It's also very close to making a 2-year low on the weekly RSI. So that's something to watch. If I take a look at the MACDs, you'll see that they're already at 0 on one setting, and the other setting is just about to move below 0. So momentum could be down, especially if the general market is breaking down. As you can see here, this consolidation has been, consolidation has been generally here, but now we seem to be breaking down. This is a possibility of shorting this stock, maybe to test this breakout here of about 160. If it's a very aggressive drop, to test this breakout here at 135. Hope that makes sense. So the breakouts are this breakout here might be tested, or secondarily this breakout here might be tested. So those are your price targets here or here. 3 to 6 months out would be my guess. Take a look at BJK, which is the gaming sector ETF, just to show you that it's a sector-wide setup. The wedge here and here seems to be close to breaking down, if not breaking down there. And also you can see a move to 2-year lows on this ETF itself. So there's some momentum to the downside here, especially if the general market is not going to stay stable and if the general market goes lower. One more, and I apologize for the number of picks. I like to keep them to about 3 at a time, maybe even less, but I just have to add this one here. It's Herbalife, HLF. If it breaks this weekly closing low, price range would be at 40. So set an alert. You don't have to do anything on this one for now. If it breaks below 42 or 49.54, that would be a break of that previous weekly closing low. So you want to go short there. If you take a look at the monthly, you'll see that it is very close with a little push. It could be making 3-year lows here. And so that's why I think it should be on your watch list. You can see that the MACDs are also could very easily move to 3-year lows here. So this one can be on your watch list below 49.54. Let's take a look at the daily just to see what the daily is saying. And the daily is already, the previous sell point, my opinion, was here to a straight line, and you can see the most recent high here comes with a double top there. So this one is a short if it can move below 49.54, and I leave you with the market here trading the Dow down 72, 73 points. We'll see where we close. Let's not be assuming necessarily that the market has to go down. The market has its own opinion of where it wants to be, where it wants to trade. So those are some ideas just in case that there's a major high in the market. And if it's a major high, expect pretty much all the stocks to be losing value. Eric Mwathe, good luck, peace, and blessings. I am out. Yeah.